Hey, what's up, guys? So today I just want to talk quickly about the NBA 2K16 team rankings. Obviously, it's not the newest news, but here's my opinions about these rankings. A lot of fun things inside these rankings I just want to talk about. First of all, as you can see, the Spurs are number one again, and the Cavaliers number two, and the Golden State Warriors is number three, and the Clippers are number four. I think even though some may argue between how these four teams will stack up against each other, there's no question that these four teams should be in the top four. I think they're just definitely the teams to beat this year. Obviously, you may wonder that why is the Golden State Warriors number three? Well, because with a healthy squad, I think the Cavaliers are still better than the Warriors. It's just that last year, Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving weren't there for the finals, so that the Golden States actually beat the Cavaliers. And I don't quite honestly understand why the Spurs are number one this year again. Because first of all, they were eliminated in the first round, but they do have LaMarcus Aldridge now. But technically, he was overlapping in position with Tim Duncan, so I don't see how that's gonna help them just by knowing that they have another very good player in their team. So that's obviously something that's really strange. The Spurs should be around number four, number three ish, but definitely not the best team. I think the best team definitely is the Cavaliers. The second best team is definitely Golden State Warriors. And number four, Clippers, no doubt. They were a great team last year. They're going to be a great team this year, having more additions into their lineup. Right? We once thought that DeAndre is going to go to the Mavericks team, but obviously that didn't happen. It's a very good thing for the Clippers organization. So obviously they kept their level at last year's level. So now they're number four. It's a very deserving position for them to be in. But moving down after that, there are a number of things that I don't think belong to this conversation. They're just really off, like the way they rank these teams, really off. Um, it's really laughable. First of all, the Thunders, right? Thunders, in my opinion, should be at least a number six, if not number five, right? Or even better than the top four team, hopefully, because with a healthy Kevin Durant, with a healthy Russell Westbrook, obviously, you're looking at a team that's championship contending, right? So they're not number 12th whatsoever, and I don't know why they figured that out. How 2K ranked them so low, it makes no sense to me whatsoever. And the Kings are at number 13, obviously. If you look at their roster, you'll see that okay, they have DeMarcus Cousins and they have Rudy Gay, but come on, man, like that's just not good enough. Like Cauley Stein's their new. No, they're just not number 13. They're actually firmly in the bottom half of this. Should be firmly in the bottom half of the league in terms of their power rankings, right? So they're not number 13. Like folks, I'm not here to go against any fans of the Kings, but it's just not right. Like no, wrong. Okay, so they just got it wrong completely. Um, and more going down, supposed to be going down teams, right? Number eight, the Pelicans. They're not number eight, ladies and gentlemen. You can see that some of the teams that are below that are a lot better. The Chicago Bulls, I'll talk about later, are better than the Pelicans whatsoever. The Raptors, they were more successful than the Pelicans last year as well. The Pacers, they're looking forward to have a better season, I guess, but they're definitely better than the Pelicans as of now. Looking at their roster, like looking at the Pelicans roster, you just don't see any changes from last year. You don't have to believe me. Like their major players are still there. They didn't get new, better players. You may say, "Oh, Anthony Wiggins." I mean, and oh, excuse me, Anthony Davis is rocking it. But well, come on. He was good, right? He played a very good season last year. No disrespect, but come on, man, their team is just not at that level. You know that their team barely made the playoffs, right? Should OKC kind of give in a little bit. Um, Barely made the playoffs and got swept by the eventual champion, the Golden State Warriors. And obviously, it's not their fault that they didn't win and got swept because the Warriors were just a really good team. But obviously, even judging by their position, right, they were number 8 in the East. They're definitely not number 8 overall. I just don't see how anyone can make the Pelicans that highly ranked. Don't get me wrong, they're a good team, right? They should be in the top half, but that's just about it. They shouldn't be anywhere, above or below that standard, right? So they're number 8. You know, not fair. Just not a good ranking at all. Case closed. Then you have the Miami Heat at number 9. I just can't see it. Last year you may say Chris Bosh wasn't there. Should Chris Bosh be there? It would be better. Well, come on. Like every single team has like excuses to prove. Like LeBron. I mean, Cleveland Cavaliers could have had Love and like Irving. Um, you know, um, Rockets could have had Dwight Howard for a longer period of time. Um, OKC could have had Kevin Durant for most of the time, but why is the Miami Heat the only one that's getting excused for not having Chris Bosh yet still having such a high ranking this year? I just don't see it. They may or may not be a top half. They should be around the 15th, 16th spot in the thing, and they should definitely not be there. Um, Full respect to the Washington Wizards, they belong there, number 10. That's a good position for them to be in. The Atlanta Hawks, they were the first seed in the Eastern Conference last year, obviously, and they're at number 7th. But knowing the fact that they've already lost Amari Carroll to the Raptors, I think it's a pretty fair place to place them. I'm not here to argue against it. The 7th or the 6th spot, and yeah, obviously, uh, what should have been tier 1 should be the Spurs, the Cavs, the Warriors, the Clippers, the Rockets, um, the Thunders, right, and the Bulls, uh, and then probably the Hawks, and then the Wizards. That I cover like yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's the top 10. Those were the teams, the ones I've said should be in tier 1, and obviously a lot of them weren't. So that's why this is actually problematic. So now looking at tier 2, we have a lot of other teams aside from the Kings that I've talked about previously. First of all, the Trailblazers shouldn't be that high because they lost their centerpiece, right? It just can't compare them with the supposed to be Trailblazers, right? They don't now only have Damian Lillard, so they are not in the top half anymore, unfortunately. And speaking about the teams that are supposed to be higher ranked, aside from the OKC, there's the Chicago Bulls, right? They're not number 16th, ladies and gentlemen. They're a better team than that. They should be around high tier 2, which is probably 11, or the top 10, obviously, tier 1, right? But that's that. And the Raptors shouldn't be number 15 either. They're a better team than number 15. They're a better team than, say, the average kind of level. I'm a Raptor fan, so don't disregard that. But the fact is, they should be around 10, 11th, or 12th, that kind of position. Judging by the way they played last year, and knowing that the core of their team is actually very young. Not to go disrespect anything, but kind of like Chicago Bulls is kind of old. The Memphis Grizzlies is kind of old. They're kind of lineup, so they should definitely be higher, right? I'm not here to argue, but I'm not. I am a fan, but still, I'm talking in a very objective, manner. So that's the Toronto Raptors. I don't see how the Pistons are number 17th. They were a bad team. They didn't have like significant addition to their team, so they should be in tier 3. No problem with that. That's just silly, as you can kind of see. And one more, the um, Boston Celtics, right? They're not number 21st. They should be in mid to low tier 2 than tier 3. They were a better team last year, and they're going to be a better team this year. I don't see why they made that change. Make them into one of the worst teams. They should put the Suns there or the Pistons there instead. And Magic, number 20, that makes no sense, ladies and gentlemen. They were a bad team. All right, so I just said it. You can listen to me, or you can disagree with me, but that's the truth. They were a bad team, and the Magic should be also in tier 3, and also instead, the Milwaukee Bucks should be moved up from 23rd to somewhere in tier 2, and that's obviously not figured out properly. What else? I think that's it, folks. I think just to overall, just to recap, tier 1 should be Spurs, Cavs, Warriors, Clippers, Rockets, Thunders, the Hawks, and the Bulls, the Wizards, and probably either the Pacers or the Raptors. And tier 2 should be the other one of the Pacers slash Raptors, the Heat, and then followed by, say, the Mavericks. The Mavericks, they were actually a good team. The Pelicans, and then the Heat. I mean, I already said the Heat, but obviously, and the Bucks, the Celtics, and as I already said, the Trailblazers, probably the Kings by then, and that's pretty much it. And the rest of the teams are in tier 3. I think that's actually supposed to be what's happening instead of how they ranked it this way. It's really laughable to see how a lot of in between teams were very inaccurate in the way they were portrayed by the game. So if you agree with my thoughts, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. If not, you can write comments about why the way I judge it is not fair enough. And other than that, I hope you have a nice day. Peace.